please. Just for putting as well.
I performed, and that was like my moment where I was like, wow, like I think this can work. Like I think people will like it. Like I can see it like fitting in the culture. So I basically planned like a whole year of like I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna hula hoop full time. So in June I quit my job, my day job, and I came out here. This is like I've been here for 3 months and I leave on Monday. Yeah, but I'm gonna come back. So this is like it's nice to be here and to perform like how I really see myself performing and the kinds of things I want to do more of. Yeah, any questions?
Wow, to do hula hooping full time. Obviously, you know what the potential is because out there, like I said in the beginning, some of us, this is something that some people can do, but it's not a thing, right? What makes you feel like it's important or it would be relevant or useful to the culture that you have been open to, which is like this space? What makes you think that apart from like the Chinese imported things, everything that we're importing, this is one of the things that is actually also important that we should be introduced or made to know?
Okay. Okay, so that's like, I think it's like a long answer. I'll start exploring like how I got into hula hoop and like why it stuck to me. Okay, so people think it's a kid's toy. Well, it doesn't have to be a kid's toy. Like anyone can hula hoop, and it's a form of expression, and it can be artistic, and it can also be meditative. And also, one reason why people pick up the hoop and they stick to it, like there's a huge like global community of hula hoopers. It's just not here in Africa. Like they're in the US, they're in Europe, they're in Australia, they're even in India. It's just like not here. People stick to it because like it boosts their confidence. Like you learn how to waist hoop, awesome. Now you learn the next trick, awesome. You learn the next trick, and you just like reinforce as that like positive reinforcement that you can do anything once you learn a trick, and it builds upon itself. So people stick to it because it builds their confidence. And when something builds your confidence, that starts to radiate out in other areas of your life. So hooping is like a form of wellness. That's like one way to relate to it. And I think it took some time, but like yoga is in Ghana now, so it can like fit on a similar platform as yoga. Also, for the art form of it, like it's dancing, and that's what I do. I do hula hoop dance. Some people might just think like circus, like it belongs in the circus, but my goal is to basically take any dance form and put a hula hoop on it. And I hope that others can see, especially here in Ghana, that like the way that they dance from like Afrobeat to the traditional stuff, you could dance with a hula hoop. And people here love dancing, and they love enjoying themselves, and hula hooping like brings a lot of joy. It brings people together. Like just yesterday, like I was at a skate gal club, and I brought the hula hoops, and everybody's like having a good time. Because doesn't have to be serious. Like I kind of make it serious, like making like a hoop angel piece, but but it doesn't have to be serious. It's supposed to be fun, and if you're not having fun, then it's like you're doing it wrong. Yeah.
Can you take us through the history of hula hooping, how it started?
Yeah. Okay. So from my understanding, hula hooping or hoop dance. Let's put hoop dance comes from like the indigenous people of America, like the Native Americans, and it's their form of ritual, their form of storytelling. So they will, it's not just like one tribe, like multiple tribes do use hoop dancing. And usually it's a story about their spirits, it's a story about like their history, or it's a story about a vision that comes to them and they have to dance it out and have everybody see. And that actually isn't like the mainstream. It actually should be the mainstream. That, you know, that happens to people, like indigenous people, they get like shoved under the rug, and then like other people come and they like take their culture and they like spread it, and then they never get the attention again. But so for the hoop angel, it's like I watch the Native American like, hoop dancers to like kind of see what they're doing, and to like develop some of those shapes that I make, and but also to relate it to the same meaning that they would use it for. Like a sphere, for example, symbolizes a globe or a world. And when it's outside of you, it's a world. If you're inside of it, it's a symbol for transformation, like you're transforming inside of this circle. So there's a lot of symbolism that goes into hoop dance that comes from Native American culture. And then, I mean, in like the 50s, like, I guess like white America made it a toy, like, it was like, that's what people think of it as. And then I think, I don't know, maybe the 90s, there was like maybe this festival like craze where people started like hula hooping at festivals. And I think that's kind of where I like ended up intersecting into it. It's like I actually didn't even see hula hooping at a festival. I just saw someone who was a festival goer who was hula hooping. And so now it's like people like to do it at festivals. And there's a few people out there who are like top, like circus performers, people who make like actual like art with hula hoops, but it's not, people tend to not think of it as an art.
What's the experience of hula hooping in front of strangers? What's the experience of hula hooping in front of strangers?
What's the experience like?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would say hula hooping in front of strangers, like all of you, like right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's something that I've worked up to. And in the beginning, when I started practicing, I would practice outside in like my neighborhood, and people would see me, and I kind of had to get over that fear of people watching me. And I actually lost that fear when I lived in Ghana for the first time, because I wanted to do yoga, and I would do yoga outside, and the kids would be around, and so they're watching you. So I like kind of lost that fear of people watching me in that way, living here. And then so when I went to the States and started practicing hooping, I didn't care so much that people were watching me. And then I joined a troupe, so then I was like performing, and so like, you know, I'm a little bit used to like people watching me do it. The key though is to like be able to enter like the flow state while people are watching you. Like to try not to think about like, oh, someone's watching me, so I'm not gonna be able to hit the zone. And that's another aspect of hula hooping, why people get addicted to it, because you get like a high. There's a point, a certain place in your skill level. It could just be as simple as just waist hooping forever. And you start to feel this like high. Like if you run, you might experience a runner's high. It's like kind of similar to that. And it's like where everything feels just as difficult as it does feel easy. And so you just get addicted to that feeling.
Why don't you dance free? Why do you want to hold on to a hoop while dancing?
All throughout university, I love dancing. I love dancing like a lot. And then when I got to Ghana, like I would like be in the jams, like in the bush and stuff, like dancing. So that was pretty fun. And I didn't have a hoop then, but there was something about when I like discovered hooping that just made me like addicted to it. And I started to just kind of see, I don't know, it sparked my creativity. I think that's just what sparks my creativity. Like if you find something that sparks something inside of you, you should like go with that, because it's special. Like one of my goals as a dancer is to just like be able to dance any style with a hula hoop. And I want to show that to people, like something that, because I'm in Ghana, like what do they relate to? Like, you know, they relate to like their traditional dances. So I want to show you that the hoop can be there too. The hoop can make it new. The hoop can reinvent it. It can be something that you haven't seen before. And I don't have to be the only one doing it. I'm just like the only one doing it right now. So I want to see other people doing it as well, and I want to collaborate. with other dancers. Yeah. And then another, a dancer friend of mine, she was asked the question, like, where do you see hooping fitting in to the dances and stuff? And she said, here in Ghana, like, we like to move our waists. We like to dance with our waist, and the hula hoop is like the perfect thing to like add into the mix.
You're going to speak on the art relevance, like people wondering how you confuse hooping with art.
I guess I'll talk a little bit about the angel piece, because that to me is like the art part of it. Like, I have a concept in my head, and I'm like, how am I gonna apply it to the hula hoop? I mean, I don't know how other artists think, but like maybe you have like a vision, and then like, okay, like this is like a blank canvas, and you have a vision. How are you gonna put your vision on the canvas? So for the angel piece, it's actually a 3-part performance. There's like there's more to it than just that, and it's a story about transformation. And I had this vision of like, well, it's kind of about me, but this vision of like someone who is like really, really struggling, and they're like calling out for an angel to come and save them. And they don't know that they're the angel the whole time. So the first piece is supposed to be about the angel kind of falling, and then the second part is about like the person like realizing kind of like who they are, and then the last part is them becoming an angel again. So I guess in art, it's just about like, you have an idea, you have a concept, and you want to reinterpret it using some medium. Maybe like how I see like doing that kind of stuff in Ghana, like I would like to fuse like concepts like, yeah, like Palago, like it'd be interesting to even expand on that more. You know, this is like, that dance is over the course of the 3 months that I've been here, and I meet up with Kofi and we do that dance. So, yeah, and then I have some photos that I don't have to share with you right now, but I did a concept photo shoot about Sankofa, and it was like kind of perfect for, this is like your return, and so this art director was like, let's do a photo shoot and let's make it about Sankofa, and I thought it was perfect because I was able to make shapes like a bird and act as if I'm the bird, like looking behind, and yeah, that's like relating art to hula hooping, like making the hoop the medium to express whatever I'm trying to convey.
So you mentioned collaborating with dancers. Are you just looking to collaborate with just dancers or other or various types of art?
Yeah, I want to collaborate with like all kinds of artists. Like, well, musicians is kind of like number one because I need music to dance to, and that helps keep things fresh. And then I also want to like work with up and coming musicians in Accra, just to like make the hooping like relevant. And yeah, I like working with dancers because they can teach me something and I can teach them something. And I like working with anyone who has an idea and is like, it throws a concept at me and tells me to come up with something with the hula hoop. Like back in the States, like I do performances with someone who does like light sculptures. So sometimes he'll come up with a concept and I'll like, you know, make a piece about something and he'll use his light sculptures to like shine on it.
There's a thing about Ghanaian dance, right, which involves closeness, touching, you know. Can two people use a single hula to dance? How do you retain that closeness or dancing together with the hula? Now that you're talking about trying to incorporate the hoop into Ghanaian dance.
That's actually a really good question because I haven't answered it. So, I mean, like in the literal sense, like two people inside a hula hoop like doing this doesn't really work out very well. It's just more about like how you're gonna move the hula hoop around your bodies. Like what are you gonna make that look like? I recently like made like a video with one of my dance partners, and it's like we did like a salsa dance and then we added the hoop and we made it look like we were like one inside of the hoop. And so, I mean, that kind of answers your question. Like you can two people can hoop together. It's just, you have to be creative about how you're gonna move the hula hoop around. And there's no right way to do it. Like, there's so many ways.
So I think that's the end of the presentation. Maybe she'll bless us with one more dance.
Really?
Would you collaborate again?